Hi, my name is Gabriella Simbari, and today I'll be addressing Congresswoman of Hawaii, Tulsi Gabbard, world-renowned marine biologist Sylvia Earle, and author Wallace Nichols. I urge these individuals to help me improve the ocean's health status by reducing plastic pollution through the elimination of disposable single-use plastic bags. The big issue at hand is that the ocean has been affected by human behavior since the beginning of our time. Of the most evident proofs that human behavior is to blame is plastic pollution. When you look at the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, even the inside of marine animals within their digestive systems on the ocean shores, you see plastic pollution everywhere, which is coming from humans. Of the most prevalent forms of plastic pollution are plastic bags, and they're similarly of the easier to change. We have the ability to change our behavior in this sense. While you can't necessarily affect how major corporations like Walmart, package their goods that we buy every day, we can control the receptacle that we place our shopping goods in. I think cost and convenience are of the more common rebuttals and counter arguments that I will face, as well as a sense of responsibility. When looking at cost, if you look at the average cost of a reusable bag, it tends to come in at under $5, which most people can afford. In terms of convenience also, they're readily available right at checkout, whether you're shopping at a store like TJ Maxx or your grocery store, Trader Joe's, Hannaford, etc. So both of those are out of the question in terms of an adequate excuse for the majority of the American population. In terms of responsibility, a lot of people might say, well, I don't go throwing my garbage into the ocean. Let's look at boats, oil riggers, things like that. They're the ones that we need to be blaming for the majority of the ocean pollution. But when you look at the numbers, actually, it suggests that 80% of all marine pollution originates from land. Furthermore, when you look at the numbers, you'll see drastic proof that, our behavior needs to change. If we don't use plastic, if we're not, actively producing it and partaking in the use of it, it's not going to end up in the ocean. So the only real way to make a change is to stop using it and improve our behavior. Currently, the amount of plastic being used by humans is shocking. Americans alone report 33.6 million tons of plastic being produced and used annually, with only about 6.5% of that ending up recycled. The remaining percentage is likely to end up in landfills and in the ocean. When you look at that in tons, it's huge, and it's affecting, at least 267 species worldwide, including 86% of all sea turtles, 43% of all marine mammals, just to name a few, through starvation, suffocation, entanglement, etc. All very violent treatments as a result of our convenience. As I've mentioned, I think the most effective treatment is to eliminate plastic bags. There are some current policies in hand that have eliminated the use of plastic bags from state borders, including Hawaii and California, as well as cities like Los Angeles, San Francisco, Austin, Cambridge, Chicago, Seattle, and a couple more. Following in the same suit are bag fees that have been implemented to influence people in bringing their own reusable shopping bags. Portland, Maine is among one of those. However, while this is a step in the right direction, when you look at it from a cost-benefit analysis, the overall cost of the bag fee does not outweigh the convenience, which is seen as the benefit in this scenario. And researchers in this regard conclude that in order to make a real change in the ocean's health status and, drastically affect human behavior, we need to take it a step further and do something more drastic, which is why I've jumped to just eliminating plastic bags as a whole. The ocean at this point needs something to change it, and by eliminating single-use plastics of this one form, I believe that we might be able to actually inspire a reduction and elimination in other forms such as water bottles, packaging, etc. Over time. While people might be a little bit angered by the sudden, reduction of convenience, I think one of the best ways to alleviate a bit of this anger would be through, advocating and advertising, I guess, the psychological benefits of the ocean. And a lot of people want to know what's in it for them. What can the ocean really provide me? Most of the American population lives either on the east or west coast within reasonable proximity to the ocean, which means they're able to reap some of the benefits that the ocean provides, even if they're not directly in it, like surfers and people who live on boats, etc., might receive. Even just being closer within proximity to the ocean has been proven to provide a direct correlation to one's improved sense of overall well-being as defined cross-culturally. A couple examples include, sound. When you hear the ocean waves breaking, the actual structure of sound waves in your brain changes and reduces stress levels as a result. Furthermore, sea air minerals, similar to those in salt water, have negatively charged ions that help balance out our brain's ions. Furthermore, the salt water, as I just mentioned, actually helps to preserve and level out chemicals like tryptamine, serotonin, and melatonin levels, which all have been proven across science to aid in reducing levels of depression and increasing an overall sense of wellness. So, this blue mind phenomenon, which is what we call the, psychological benefits of the ocean, as coined by Wallace Nichols, it is a real thing. It is real scientific evidence. Most people can account for the fact that the ocean does make them feel better, but we do have evidence that this is the case, which might help people feel like they have more of an incentive to take care of the ocean and reduce their plastic use. They might feel more inspired. It might, kind of open their eyes up as to not just, all the animals I'll be saving, all the good I'll be doing for the environment, but also all the good I'll be doing for humanity, because people can too see these benefits, and their lives can be changed by them from a psychological standpoint. So it's a win-win scenario, and I think this sort of a movement pairing these two up can really inspire further change, which is what the ocean needs at this point. Thank you for your time.